Matt Bernier for RacingPicks.com, taking a look at 3 selections for Saturday, August the 15th, all of them from Saratoga Racecourse. I'm en route to Saratoga Springs for the NBC show on Saturday afternoon, 5 o'clock Eastern. We'll feature the 2 stakes races on the card, that being the Saratoga Derby as well as the Grade 1 Alabama. Those 2 races will be discussed here, along with race number 6, which we will start off with, which is a maiden special weighted fair for 2-year-olds going 6.5 furlongs on the main track. It looks like there is an abundance of talent in this field when you consider the pedigrees, the purchase prices, the connections. I'm most intrigued, though, with a second-time starter. That's the number 10 Restored Order for Todd Pletcher, Irad Ortiz Jr. with the mount. The career debut down at Gulfstream Park, I don't think is as bad as perhaps the page would make it suggest. Horse was hard-ridden rounding the far turn. This is a 2-year-old son of Frosted, out of Frosted's first crop to run in the afternoons. When it looked like he was just going to blow the doors off the field, he got a little bit green, ducked in, goofy with his lead changes. To me, he's the kind of horse that perhaps will need some experience to really take that next step forward. There's no reason to believe that the second time out of the box, especially for a barn like Pletcher's, who is rolling along right now, makes me think that maybe at 4-1, this is an intriguing selection. Keeping in mind that at the end of the day, experience matters in these baby races. I wonder if the number 10 Restored Order is ready to take that big step forward here in the second lifetime start with a little bit of added ground. I think the talent is there. The question is the mind there? 4-1 on the morning line, I'm willing to find out. Let's move on to the 2 stakes races. We'll start off with race number 8, mile and 3/16 on the Mellon Turf Course. That is the Saratoga Derby for $500,000. I understand Decorated Invader. He's 7-5 in the morning line. Makes all the sense in the world. This is a horse who has the credentials. He has the speed figures. He has the connections. I don't need to tell you that to make a case for a 7-5 or in all likelihood 4-5 even money type of shot. I'm much more intrigued with the number 6 Colonel Liam, another Todd Pletcher trainee. This one ridden by Javier Castellano. Made his turf debut in his most recent start. This is a 3-year-old son of Liam's map, but there is pedigree as far as the grass is concerned on the bottom. I know maybe you look at it initially, you see Bernardini, you go, a little wishy-washy as far as grass is concerned, but when you factor in that Wonder Again is down on the dam side, there's enough there to make me believe anyway that the turf is where this horse is going to flourish, and based on that first-time start on the grass, I have no reason to believe otherwise. It was a smashing turf debut. Sat the pocket, looked very, very good when Irad Ortiz, who rode that day, tipped him out into the clear. Not only did he finish better than good older horses, it seemed as though the longer the distance, the better. It found like he just really found that stride late in that stretch run. Now he gets a little bit of added real estate to work with. That was at a mile and a 16th. Now we get a mile and 3/16, an added furlong to work with here on Saturday afternoon. I like the versatility, the tactical ability to sit close if that pace is a little bit more tepid. I like that finish that he showed. That to me could be the difference maker. I respect Decorated Invader. He's the horse to beat. There's no two ways around it. But at 7-2, I'm willing to find out about the number 6 Colonel Liam on the off chance that he is genuinely the goods. He's going to be my best bet of the day. If we can get something close to that 3.5-1, I'd be willing to even consider him at 3-1 with that 100 buyer in his back pocket. Now let's move on to the main event, race number 9, a mile and a quarter on the main track. These are 3-year-old fillies in the Grade 1 Alabama. Typically, this is sort of the summer goal for these 3-year-old fillies. Well, this is a bit of an odd year. These girls will be leading into the first Friday in September, which happens to be the Kentucky Oaks. I respect Swiss Skydiver. She's even money on the morning line. She has speed figures. She has speed at the track. There are a number of reasons to be looking at a horse like this. I'm just not entirely convinced that added ground is going to be to her benefit. Maybe she has a tactical advantage. Maybe she has a class and overall quality advantage on these other girls. I just don't need to find out at a short price. There's one horse who I have been waiting to go a mile and a quarter since the middle of March. And I tell you what, I'll show you my notes right here. For the number 4, Bonnie South. These are my notes from her run down at the fairgrounds. And you can see that, hopefully it pops up in there. Take a look at that. It says, big finish, distance her friend, feels like Alabama type. Well, here we are, August the 15th, a mile and a quarter in the Alabama at Saratoga, and I feel like this is what Bonnie South wants. You look at the pedigree, maybe it doesn't scream distance, but when you take a look at the way that she runs, I think she's going to absolutely adore the added ground where some of these other girls may not appreciate it. And to me, a mile and a quarter is the difference maker in a race like this. I feel like distance is always the great equalizer for 3-year-olds, but specifically for 3-year-old fillies. I respect Swiss Skydiver. Maybe Spice is nice as the goods. Crystal Ball is going to be forwardly placed. Harvey's Little Goyle, you can understand a case to be made for her going back to the dirt. I've just all along felt like 1.25 miles is going to be Bonnie South's game. Whether she gets the pace or not, I think the difference is going to be the distance. I don't think it's going to get her beat as opposed to some of these other girls where perhaps it compromises them. She's 8-1 on the morning line for Brad Cox and Arad Ortiz Jr. Give me the number 4, Bonnie South in the Grade 1 Alabama. Again, the Alabama and the Saratoga Derby will both be featured at 5 o'clock Eastern on NBC. I will be there on Saturday taking a look at both of those races, but don't forget about that race earlier on the card with those 2-year-olds, because I do think that Pletcher runner, Restored Order, is an intriguing one in race number 6. Whatever you play this weekend, good luck and enjoy